Hey guys, I'm back with another review, and boy has it been a long time since I've said that. But here we are, as I unboxed last weekend, the Mattel DC Multiverse Clayface Wave. I said I would be reviewing it, and here I am. I am in a totally different setup than I've ever been in, so I'm sorry if things look a little weird. Hopefully it looks good. It looks okay in my viewfinder, so we'll see when the finished video is done, but here we go. So I'm going to start with Superman. I don't know why, I just am. But he is, one of the interesting ones in this wave, because when they showed the prototypes back at, I think it was San Diego Comic-Con, they showed it at Toy Fair. I don't think we saw them at New York Comic-Con. He actually had a different lower body. He had the old style, DCUC style articulation and sculpting. And then when they showed the photos and obviously the finished product, he had this new lower body, yet still the same torso area. And the head, not quite sure on that one. The prototype head looked way, way better, but I'm not sure if that's just a matter of factory paint versus prototype paint. That I don't know. But here we are, and I'm going to show you how the new articulation works and everything, and how it looks. A lot of people are torn on this figure, but I personally think it's a good step for Mattel, so let's see how I can show you this. Not used to this to set up, but let me just see if I can. I think I might have to do some zooming instead of pulling to the camera like I usually do. So we have the face sculpt here, which, like I said, the prototype looked way better, but I don't know if it was a change in sculpt or just paint. It just looks kind of dull. Not very, there's been a lot better Superman face sculpts, I think. You have the S shield, which mine looks pretty good. There is a little tiny bit of paint missing right here that you can probably see, but otherwise it's very clean. Has the belt. So, also, I don't think I said, this is the Rebirth style Superman, the original Rebirth costume. So it has I call the PJ blue boots, but we'll get down there. So that's the belt. Very clean, sculpted. It's actually kind of rubbery, I think. He's got these sort of silvery, pewtery colored cuffs, which are just painted, they're not sculpted. And so there you can see the new hips and the thigh cut actually being at the thigh and not right above the knee like they used to be. So this is very similar to the Marvel Legends style done by Hasbro. He has double knee joints, which look nice in my opinion. And then he has the blue boots, like I said, which are just literally the same leg all the way down, and then the red line is painted. It's not sculpted or anything. The feet, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Certainly not at this angle, but maybe when I put him back down. His feet are perhaps a little too big, but they also do not have ankle rockers at all, which is unfortunate considering the changes in the articulation scheme. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see the S on the back, which is very clean on mine. Painted on, very clean. So that's pretty good. And let me just zoom back out again here. Sorry for this new little style of filming for me. I will say, as you can see, like me struggling right now, this figure doesn't doesn't stand quite as easily as the old DCUC style figures. Right off the bat, I mean, I got him. It doesn't help that they don't have the the ankle pivot. I feel like that would help a lot, because you can see this foot is kind of lifted off of the ground, the table. But the old DCUCs didn't have ankle rockers either, and they stood fine. I don't know if it's just because his cape is heavy, which it is. It is quite heavy. It is the thick, rubber. Or because these new lower legs are maybe not as supportive for some reason. I'm I found that I'm a little apprehensive in saying that. I don't think that's it. I really just think it's the cape. Like, if he didn't have a cape, I don't think it'd be an issue. I do want to say he has alternate hands. So he has just flat hands that he can use for flying. So you can see they don't have hinges. So the hands don't move up and down. They just twist. But I can show you how to change them out. You just pop them off and pop the new one in. Pretty simple. So now he can have a flying hand. For now, he'll just look like he's karate chopping nothing. But pretty easy to do that. So yeah, that's you know, how he looks overall. I think he looks good. I think a lot of people are being a bit hard on this figure. They don't like the way the new articulation looks, and I don't know if it's just because I appreciate having more articulation that I'm kind of convincing myself that it looks better, or if I genuinely think it looks better. I think it's a bit of both, maybe, because it does seem, because they kind of just threw these new lower legs onto the same upper body, they maybe look like they don't kind of fit together. His legs might look a little long or skinny with like the bigger torso, but I really don't think it's too big of an issue. So I'm just going to show you the articulation, which is only slightly improved on the old Mattel DCUC figures. So I was you know, when we saw the new styles kind of coming to fruition, I was hoping we'd get more changes, but so far it seems they're doing kind of incremental changes. And so here on the head we have the same old articulation. It's just left, right, very little bit up, pretty good down. The chin can kind of go to the neck, but there's no disc in the neck peg like there is on Hasbro Marvel Legends or Black Series or anything. I was hoping they would add that, but so far they haven't. So you still can't. So you know, he's got these hands to do a flying pose, but you can't lift his head past there for him to fly, which is a bummer. The shoulders are the same. They can go up and down and around. You have the bicep swivel. Still just a single jointed elbow on this particular figure. Some of the other new figures have double jointed elbows now, or some of the figures that are upcoming, which is cool, but this one's still single jointed, and you just have the twist at the wrist, like I said. You have the old school ab crunch. You can go, so now his feet are flat on the floor. You can go that far forward, and that far back. You have the twist at the waist, and now the new articulation from the waist down, we have the new hips that can do the full splits, which I'm really impressed by, because like I said, they kind of just copied Hasbro style articulation for this lower half, but they did it better. The Hasbro figures go to maybe here. Even on characters like Spider-Man, who should be able to do the full splits, but Superman can do the full splits, which I love, and it feels good and smooth. He does have the twist at the top of the thigh now. Double jointed knees can go about that far because he's got big calves, but they are very smooth, not loose or anything. And then he has the regular ankle joint here, which moves quite a bit. Maybe you can see there how his foot looks pretty big. I don't know. But no pivot, like I said. So that's about it for this guy. Unfortunately, I wanted to compare him to an old DCUC style Superman, but I can't find ours. I think it might be at my mom's house, but I'm not sure. So unfortunately, I don't have a comparison for you on this one. I'm sure you know what the old DCUC style looks like, but if you don't, I'm sure there are other reviewers who have covered this figure who probably did do comparisons. I'm sorry that I didn't have one. I really wanted to do that, but yeah, that's all I got. I quite like this figure, and I'm happy to see Mattel making figures like this again, and I'm happy to see them taking steps to slowly but surely try and meet Hasbro in the articulation department, and even a little bit in having accessories such as interchangeable parts like hands and heads, and various other accessories. This one, kind of lacking, but hopefully, you know, the rest of the wave there are some other good ones, and in the future, hopefully we'll have even better ones, so. Yeah, that's it for this one, the DC Multiverse Rebirth Superman from the Clayface Collect and Connect wave. And stay tuned for more from this wave, including the Collect and Connect himself at the very end. Thanks for watching, guys. Good to film for you again.